Good morning, all.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
Hey, first thing, let us call by our names. The very first thing in corporate, please, no ma'ams, no sirs. Let's leave ma'am and sir in the college and call by our names in the corporate world. The very first thing. And it's been a time that I heard ma'am and sir, I get okay. Really different. So please let us all address ourselves by our names, whoever it is. Even if we
Right.
have Sundar Pichai with us, let us call him by Sundar. That's it. No sirs, no
Yeah, yeah.
ma'ams. Thank
So Venkata ji, we have just finished our session to 5 minutes back. So student may take 2 or 3 more minutes to join.
Sure,
Okay.
sure, sure.
And before that, I would like to tell you about the campus. It's a IIBM 22-year-old institute. We have PGDM, and we have students from all the disciplines from graduation like BBA, BCA, BCom, engineering, medical, pharmacy. Means graduation is from the different disciplines. Now they are pursuing their PGDM in marketing, HR, and finance. Any one of the specializations. With minors are maybe a different one,
Okay.
but the majors are marketing, HR, and finance.
Okay.
So
What are the
minors are SAP, AI, and supply chain.
Amazing.
Ha. So also the student expect that you should share your journey, your problems which you faced, because means now from April onward they will go for summer internship, which will be of 3 months, and after that, after 2 or 3 months, then we will start the final placement. So they will enter in the market, corporate world, we can say.
Right.
So which type of experience they will face, which type of problems they will face, which is not actually a problem, but when they will face these things first time, it will look like a problem.
Right.
So which are these things they will face most problems which you have faced, you can say, and how you have handled it to make it a smooth journey in our life. So this is what we expect from your side.
Certainly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm all here. Since yesterday, I was just trying to brainstorm myself, like when did I start? What did I do? Or something like that. More than the success stories, I have a lot of challenging stories. Let's use positive words. So more than the success stories, I have a lot of challenging stories. So certainly, it's an opportunity to share these so that at least my friends can learn from that or be informed that hey, if we do something like this, these would be the challenges and how to take it up. Certainly, we
Right,
are all
right,
here for it.
right.
Thank
So
you.
Poonam, you can start.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. But before I begin, ma'am, I just wanted to know, shall I address you as Miss Venkata Archana or Archana? Just
Just
Archana.
that's a miss and all these things are
Okay,
clearly a little.
okay, ma'am. Sure. So
Yeah.
let's begin this session with a quote that I saw on your profile that if you're not a hell yes, you are a no. A very good morning and a very warm welcome to everyone. It is my privilege to introduce the guest speaker for today's session, Ms. Venkata Arjana. The topic for today's session is changing scenario of market and on for management students. Equipped with 9+ years of experience in industries such as talent acquisition, vendor management, and HR journalist, ma'am started her corporate career with an internship at T. Patil groups of industries. Later in her career, ma'am worked with companies like OnMobile, TK Systems, HSBC, Spiceworks. In her course of career, Archana drove and delivered all strategic leadership and volume hiring assignments through a value added hiring strategy. With an experience of both lateral and contractual hiring, as both types of recruitment need a different approach, ma'am is currently working as technical recruiter in Coinbase. Without further ado, let's hear it from Archana.
Great. Wow. It's been a while that I read through my resume. That's really nice. Thank you, Poonam. Thank you. Cool. Let's not take it as a lecture. I mean, in my college days, when we had guest lectures or something, I was like, wow, when will I see myself like this? Certainly, I should thank Neeraj sir for giving me an opportunity to talk to you people. Thank you so much.
It's
And
my
first,
pleasure, ma'am.
Thank you. And the first request, I request you not to take it as a lecture or something. It's a very casual, friendly conversation that you are having as a buddy. But this discussion may help you sometime in future with my experiences that I've gone through. So to begin with, I have my educational qualifications were like I have a BTech followed by MBA. And certainly, many questions arised when I was a fresher, when I was getting into interviews as a fresher. The first 3 years, certainly in market, people with less than 3 years of experience are or more or less considered as freshers only, because that's the stage we will try to understand. We really don't know the market completely or don't get to understand all the certain challenges. So until 3 years of experience, anybody, it's just we feel proud of ourselves. Like we'll write in our resumes 2.2 years, 1.7 years. So yeah, at that point of time, we will feel that yeah, I'm experienced with 1.7 years. I'm experienced with 8 months. But typically until 3 years or like that, it takes time to get that internal maturity to understand certain problems or to understand what is my manager typically saying. Usually even in colleges we say like, hey, the sir is really bugging us with too much assignments. Or even in our offices we typically feel the manager is really too bossy, he's getting into too much of micromanagement, etc., etc. These are the typical words that we hear in our day-to-day lives in colleges or in corporates. But as we grow, we understand. I can also look into my manager's position, like I know why she's speaking like this. I know what would her instructions would be. So as we say in the Spider-Man movies, like as power comes with responsibility, the more power, more responsibility. That we'll understand eventually. At a zero experience, certainly we don't understand power and responsibility. We just like, wow, that's a brand, I should get into it, that's something something. But what are the other strings attached? As we climb the steps, we'll understand that. Okay, so coming back to my point, the very first question that was very struggling for me in my interviews was, why BTech with MBA? Why did you were a BTech and now you did MBA? Why MBA? Why didn't you start off your career into the BTech journey, the typical BTech journey, whatever you have done? It was the very first question for a long time for me to answer that. Yeah, in few interviews I couldn't answer, or I couldn't give a justifying answer or a satisfying answer. Why? Because I was not matured enough. Why did I do MBA? Honestly speaking, I couldn't do BTech properly. It was very tough for me to get into a corporate job with the scores that I had in BTech. But then I had an introspection. I mean, I looked through my own powers or my own positives and negatives. Now I cannot really sit like that with that scores and ruin my career. Then certainly what I had, all my friends or myself, I thought like, okay, coding is not my game, but I can talk. I don't have stage fear. I love talking. I love meeting people. I always like to understand why, what, try to get into questions. Certainly, my sirs used to tease me in my classes. After the class, once the lecture is over, now if Archana agrees that we are done with the session, we'll close the session. That was sarcastic. I mean, that was a joke that typically we used to play in the classrooms. Archana ji, kuch doubts hai kya, or shall we close the class? Initially, that was the case because like was too many questions, too many thoughts. Why like this? Why like this? But eventually, that is the success. That is one of the strengths that I had, which helped me climb the steps of recruiting. Why? Unless and until we are really confident one, even if we have one answer for that why, which is satisfying, that is sufficient. So always dig through that why point. Now, yes, so then eventually I was able to answer that why question, why BTech and MBA. I did not really speak that my scores were bad and I did MBA just to cover it up. No, that is not the answer how we present it. There is a way how you present it. I'm confident in speaking. I love speaking. I am an extrovert by nature and I would like to explore new things. So there is a way how you present. Don't ever present anything in a negative side. Let that be negative to yourself. When we introspect about ourselves, now be very transparent to you. I mean, you need not discuss everything with everyone. When you sit for yourself, think through what is the problem or any challenge, anything. Why are we doing this? You actually are internal. I mean, we will get an answer to it. I know this is not working. I know this is working. This is so when you are confident with yourself, it shows off in your it shows off in your communication. It that confidence, that positivity will automatically come up during the discussions. Cool. Now, BTech and MBA. MBA was such a lovely journey that I had. I did my MBA from Dhruva College of Management in Hyderabad. And now this college has come up to a very great state. But when I joined sometime in 2006, the college was in the budding stage. It was almost 3 4 years old college. Unlike your college, which is pretty established now, but Dhruva College that I studied during then, I was the third batch or the first batch to come out. And certainly the college, I mean, the environment that was created, I jumped into every other internship projects. Let that be paid or free, whatever it is. I jumped into every opportunity. I did my subjects were like I was HR, and the secondary, I mean the primary major or the minors was systems, the IT. So HR and IT. But still I jumped into several marketing projects. There was a first project that I did in my MBA was something related to marketing in Airtel. We need to literally stand outside the Airtel outlets and collect the customer feedbacks, literally, because typically people don't feel. Now I get a message, how many of us reply to the feedback messages that we get? The Flipkart or the Domino's pizza, every time you order Domino's we get a feedback message. Do we really do it? That's not really practical. So in those days, I and a couple of my friends, we used to literally stand outside the Airtel studios, and the walk-in customers, we used to ask them. We had a set of questionnaire, just 2 minutes. That was so damn difficult to stop a person. Even now in malls, we get to see so many people that, hey, not interested. They will just go off. But we need to overcome that. We need to overcome that. Present yourself in such a positive way that the person should stop for you, answer your questions, and a very open, transparent, not just for, yes, yes, good, 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 go. No, we need a reliable feedback. Why? Because this data was going to the head of Airtel in South India. He wanted to see the real feedback, what's happening. And just a few of us, he trusted us. So the interest comes from within, right? Why am I collecting this data? The head of Airtel South India is going to look at this data, which is very true. And we need to, for sure, every individual of us need to talk to 10 people, or else we are not going to go out of the studio. So it was very tedious. Initial few days I was feeling very shy, very awkward. Am I a Why are people behaving like this? Then 1 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 1 week, 15 days, you get to see the strategy. Okay, this is not working. Okay, now how should I go into it? Now come out of that shy zone. Am I something like this? No. If you're confident, you're doing the right thing, and you have the support, talk to your friends, observe how others are doing. If all the team is going wrong, none of us are able to get catch up any customer, then brainstorm for yourself. Hurry, yaar, I'm doing something like this. I'm not able to hold anyone. What shall we do? Okay, you try this strategy. You try. Let's have a team game then, and then relook into the data. So again, another fundamental in corporates is data. If you say I tried, I didn't get, nobody will believe us. Show, come up with data. There were 25 footfalls into the outlet. I tried stopping everyone, of which 3 people responded, but they didn't answer to my questions. Come up with data. Everywhere, maintain however tools we have. Excel is our master thing. Try to excel that Excel sheets first of all. Be master in that Excel, how to create your data, how to manage your data, and how to present your data. So for me, the first journey in my career was this Airtel project. I still love. Anytime I see that Airtel outlets anywhere, I feel so happy. Like, oh God, I was even now. Anytime I see anybody in the mall stopping us for some survey, I politely decline. I cannot really stand there and give their answers, but I politely decline them. So, but however, that was the very first journey that gave me confidence. Reporting to a person who is head of something and he's reading my data is another positive impact that created a confidence to me. That's all. So, whatever project that comes to your college, whatever internship, whoever it is, don't go by brands. In fact, if you go by brands, you yourself are coming down in in your career ladder. Try to face as many challenges, try to have as many bad experiences as you can, because that's how we'll overcome, that's how we learn, right? Then I got up. I was the first person to get placed in our college. That was the Patil group of industries. While at that time everybody were very freaking out for the IT IT companies to get into an HR as an IT companies or blah blah. I was like, okay, I find this company very different. The roles and responsibilities that this company is trying to offer me is very different. Let me jump into it. I got into it. That was the railway tracks. You see the railway tracks, right? Those tracks manufacturing company. And I did an again. I worked there for almost 8 months, and somehow, I mean, after that, I got married and I had to relocate to Bangalore. So that's how my career changed, and then the recruitment career and everything started off. Now, I have one question for you. Um, do you think recruitment is part of HR? Can I have answers from the audience?
Yes, ma'am.
Recruitment is HR? Okay, what are the typical areas in HR that we get?
Ma'am, recruitment, selection, talent acquisition.
Now, please call me by my name. No, ma'ams, no,
Oh,
sirs.
yes, ma'am. Yes, Archana. So, as far as I know, there's recruitment, selection, talent acquisition, training and development, limited knowledge.
No.
Sorry.
Okay, that's how. At that stage, that would be. Okay, now let me tell you, gone are the days where recruitment is treated as part of the HR. Recruitment is altogether a different wing in a company now. HR is somebody who manages the human resources. Recruitment is the very first entry level. In fact, talent acquisition is treated as the ambassador for a company. You are the first face of the company. So when we talk to a candidate, he doesn't see the CEO or anybody. He looks through me about the company, how I take him further, what kind of experience I give to a candidate. So literally, recruiters are the first phase of a company. We are the brand ambassadors of the company. More than anything, we penetrate into the market and try to give a mark. So that's the reason slowly recruitment is also evolving into the marketing, because I mean, I typically talk to almost 20 people a day, the very first phases. Or totally, if you see, I typically talk to more than 30 to 50 people a day, which includes different people at different stages. So that means I am the brand ambassador. I'm talking to so many people. I'm explaining about who Coinbase is, what we are doing, what, etc., etc., etc. So it's a balance between recruitment, marketing, and HR. So yeah, gone are the days where recruitment is part of HR. Recruitment itself is a very big thing. Now in HR, what we typically incorporate. I know in our colleges, the subjects, the human resources, human behavioral, organizational behavior, these were some of the subjects that I read when I was there. But now in organizations, talent acquisition is altogether a different team, and HR. Even in HR, now there are various teams into the induction, onboarding, background verifications, etc. There would be one particular team, and payroll management, another team, and overall HR management, who looks into the policies, compliance, exit, or the appraisal policies, etc. There would be a separate team. So I'm talking in terms of the corporate, in terms of the teams. Now, please do not correlate it with this to your subjects. Yeah. How it happens in the corporate, I'm trying to speak out. Yeah. Am I clear? Any questions here? Guys?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No questions.
Okay. Guys, I mean, other than Poonam, can I have the audience also speak? Anybody else? Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. There's just a lot of noise on my end, and I didn't want to disturb the meeting. That's why I didn't switch
No
off my
problem.
mic.
I hope everybody, it's not boring, right? Because I'm just talking
No,
to a
ma'am.
laptop, I'm just talking to a screen, and
Not
I
at,
feel I'm just talking to myself.
not at all, Archana.
No issues. Thank you. Yeah. So the next stage that we started off is my career. I mean, after marriage, certainly, like the work life and everything, I took multiple breaks due to marriage, due to maternity and everything, which really created an impact in my career graph. If I look at people who graduated along with me now, certainly they are in the head of the stage right now. The titles were like very fancy titles that my friends are into right now: head, or vice president or something. And I'm still in the different stage. Why? It was a personal choice. I have two kids. So as we see, like managing the family and managing career, end of the day, am I getting the job satisfaction? Am I getting what am looking for? That gives me an immense satisfaction. That's it. However, due to these breaks, I had to move into multiple companies. I first started my journey as an HR journalist for On Mobile Global Limited, which is a product-based company. And then I took break. Then again, for the first son maternity, and then I joined Tech Systems. That was where I learned what is recruitment, what is technology. In fact, I was very as good as a fresher for a technology first. I just don't know what is Java. I just don't know what is .NET. Nothing. All that I know is I can speak. That's all. So thankful to that company that gave me an opportunity. They trained us so well. They trained us how to talk to a candidate, how to understand a job description, how to talk to a hiring manager, how to talk to a candidate, how to handle those people who are aggressive in nature, who are very passive in nature, how to get interest from them, etc., etc. It's all real time. Jump into the war, learn, you will come out successfully. And then that moved on. Yeah. So here I can help you with any idea, anything. Please ask me questions, anything that you would like to know specifically in terms of recruitment, in terms of anything. Please shoot me questions.
So, ma'am, one question is from my side. Yes,
Hi.
Harshit, you can ask after me. So, what do you see in candidate when you are selecting a candidate? If there are multiple candidates, which specific skill or specific thing you are looking into candidate for hiring the candidate? Yes, ma'am. Over to you.
Yeah. So what do we see from a candidate now? For example, okay. Let us take a generic. Is it okay if I take the technical a technical world? I mean, for example, I'm hiring a Java developer. For example, yeah, are we comfortable with this example? Now, for
Yes, yes.
example, I'm hiring a Java developer who comes with Java and typical strong web development experience and database, blah blah blah. We read through all the skills in the job description. Now, my first question would be not to the candidate, to the hiring manager. Always ask why are we hiring this skill? Not into technology. We are not coders, we are not developers. We have nothing to do with the technology in terms of the coding. But certainly, it is our responsibility if we understand technology. What is the difference between Java? What is the difference between .NET? Or what are the other skills that we have in the market? So that you can ask the right question to the hiring manager. Accordingly, you can have a sensible conversation with the candidate, right? So here I'll understand from the hiring manager, like, why are we hiring this role? What is the project all about? And why should this guy come and join you? It is not that the job is open and he couldn't. No, the market is so damn open. In fact, from the top notch companies, also, there are a lot of offer drops. People are shopping around aggressively. Every great company is having this problem. Every great company is having last minute offer drops. Every great company is having a huge attrition. Now, the market is like that. Now, I cannot answer that question, but certainly. So, what is there for the candidate to come and join us? What are the value propositions that I am giving to him? And also try to understand the budget. Now, is this budget, with this budget, what kind of quality can I get? Every budget, I mean, as a recruiter, I mean, in this 9 years of journey, earlier I used to feel, wow, I have great budget, I can fill up the position. No, even if you have very little budget, you can still fill position, but the quality differs. To what extent? I don't want to even use word as a quality. That's a wrong statement. What is my work? Am I really working on a core development project? Am I even in core development? Am I going to work on a scratch development when there is nothing? You are going to build, write the code from on a white paper. What kind of project am I working? Accordingly, I'll be getting the people. Now, here, answering your question, Neeraj. So, first, understand the job description thoroughly. Understand on all these why concepts. Why are we hiring? Why Java? If not why Java, then you'll get an answer from the hiring managers like that. A, because Java in this, our project is already there in this, or the other integrations that we are having is in Java, While in .NET, it's altogether a different set of technology. We cannot do it. It's okay. Now, if I ask this question to my hiring manager, what is .NET? He will look at me crazily. But being at your level, it's 100% acceptable to ask sensible, I mean, questions. Any questions. No question is bad. Please do not stop yourself thinking that, hey, what will they think if I ask this question? You never know. That could be an icebreaker question. So please ask questions. And now, when I'm talking to a candidate, I may find 10 different Java developers. All are very good, all are very interested to come and join my company. At this point of time, I will try to connect the dots. Now, my project is not from scratch development. The product is already ready. There are just a few enhancements that needs to be done. Now, for this kind of project, if I get a developer who is expert writing code from scratch, it's a wrong fit, because he will come, he will not like this job, and he will run away. So so similar people, if I have all these 10 guys are Java developers, my project is like this. Now you will be able to connect the dots. So that's the reason. So did I answer my question? Did I answer your question?
Yes,
What
but
I
again, I would like to flip the question. If
Mhm.
I'm coming for the interview, how I can impress you so that you will hire me?
Nothing to impress there. Now be very transparent, ask the right questions. What is that you're looking for? Now it's a recruiter's job to answer a few questions. So help me know more about the project. If the candidate asks this question, it is the recruiter's job, or during the interview, if it's the interview, real time interview, it's the hiring manager's job to explain him the opportunity completely. At this point of time, if you feel that you can do justice for that, don't try to oversell yourself. Yes, 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 I did on these projects. Yes, 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 I have worked on these lines. No, that is a different ball game altogether. But certainly you can showcase your skills and prove that I'm worth it, I'm interested, or give them the confidence that you have that skill. Now, for example, if I let me take my own example. As a recruiter, when I for Coinbase, I had to go through almost 8 rounds of interviews for Coinbase. The interview process took almost 2.5 months time for me to get the offer letter finally in Coinbase. Every round was very different. The motive was very clear. In this round, they are going to observe your job description understanding skills. In this round, they are going to understand stakeholder management. Stakeholder management means my hiring managers or my HR teams or the other teams that I'll be involved with. They are all my stakeholders. In fact, my candidate is also my stakeholder. Stakeholder management, data management, how I understand the data, how I'll be able to pull out inputs from the data. So, accordingly, I prepare my stories. Okay, now they ask me a scenario, Archana, this is a challenge. What did you do? If you did you come across this challenge? What did you do? Certainly, our answer will say, yes, yes, I did. I did. And then try to come up with realistic examples. Yes, there was a case that I did something. I had a problem like this, and this was my approach. Not every time there will be success stories. In fact, these days, most of the interviewers want to know your failure stories, because that shows your confidence, that shows how you can take pressure, that shows your positive attitude. So in fact, these stories are very important. So try to think about both the positives and negatives about yourself during the interview. Success stories and failure stories. So there were many a times I lost many games. That were my examples during the interviews. Yes, there was a problem where the candidate was very messy, heights of attitudes, and I had only he in my database. I don't have any other candidate to help him. So how did I get back to him? It's not that please come and join. Now I had to get back to him with the data. Hey guy, this is the project. This is what you can learn. I see that you have worked on these kind of companies. My company is something like this. My job is something. Benefits that I give from my company is this. Now be very transparent and try to sell the opportunity accordingly. So it's a failure
Yes,
stories. I mean the challenging stories you can say.
yes,
Okay, that's the thing.
yes, yes. Dear students, you can ask your questions.
Yes, ma'am, I have a question. So, because I'm an HR student and you also have a domain of HR. You are in that domain. So, right now I am at the embryonic stage of my career, and I'm currently working with the life project, And like you said, like when you were at the embryonic stage of your career, and you know, you used to stand outside those Airtel shops, and you used to stop every customer for a feedback. So sometimes even I feel that no, I'm currently I'm sourcing. My job is sourcing, and I'm just filling entries in the Excel, and I don't feel motivated enough sometimes to.
God, you're working on the most important data, you know?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. So sometimes I feel that maybe my skills are not getting enhanced. I'm just filling an Excel sheet. So I just need some guidance from you in that, in on those
Certainly.
lines.
Yeah, certainly. See, at that experience where we are just, it takes some time to get in. Now, do you think if we give you a full time, full length job or a senior architect or a senior manager role for hiring, you think you will be able to make it? Of course you'll be
No.
able to make it, but for a wonderful job, or for you to have that data points, for you to get that confidence, you need to understand the reverse counting that you see. Now you are telling that you are filling some Excel sheets. So what is the data fields in that Excel sheet? What kind of data do you fill? How many candidates, or the name of
Yes.
the applicant, his
Yes, ma'am.
skill sets, what is
Yes.
his current compensation, which company is he coming from,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Now, which is a huge data for you. You eventually, 2 3 months down the line, if you observe your data, you'll get a lot of inputs. What kind of companies are having the talent of this particular technology? What is experience level? Now, 6 months down the line, when you go for an interview or when you take up another role, you can tell like this: oh, this particular technology, yeah, I think there is a lot of talent from this particular company or this particular location. Now, if you say in India, in a recruitment language, talent pool, if you see, of course, Bangalore is one of the IT hubs right now. But to my surprise, I'm seeing strong technology, strong talent also coming from Gujarat, Jaipur, Kochi. These places were never tapped earlier, but you see amazing talent is coming from these locations as well, while their budgets are very different. So, accordingly, now if you really read through the data that you're filling right now, it will be boring. I know we come with a lot of energy and we feel like, hey, why are they giving me this job? Yes, try to interact now with the people who are giving you this data. Talk to them, try to understand. Hey, I mean, now can you give me some more insights about the work that you're doing? It's data entry. So eventually you can pull out this data. You can understand for yourself which company is having what talent, what is the typical budget that's there for this company. If you are given a job for Java for 4 lakhs, will you be able to do? What is that market? Try to analyze, come up with your data points eventually. But can you please help me know what are the other things that you'll be doing in your live project?
Yes, ma'am. Mostly the entry related to employee data entry is one thing that I'm doing. And before that, I was given the task to make an Excel sheet of all the startups that have kind of achieved a funding more than 20 crores. The talent acquisition, the head HR of that company.
Mm-hmm.
That was my previous job.
Yes, sure. So with that, maybe eventually, maybe even if you look at your data, you have got a list of startups which is highly funded. That means these companies again try to, when you also mentioned that you could get the talent acquisition type. Who is the talent acquisition?
Yes, ma'am.
So their profiles, how did they just start their career? How many companies did they move? What did they do? If usually, at least HRs in LinkedIn, they'll write maximum about themselves. What did they do? So that's a learning platform for you to understand. Okay, if your aspiration is to get into a level there, read through all their profiles. So typically, when I am free or whenever I will, like, I'll try to, okay, this is my aspiring dream company. I'll try to read their all profiles in LinkedIn, including the software engineers, including the marketing, finance, HR. So companies typically now if I join a company, I'll try to see who, I mean, even if you join this college that you have joined right now, you might have seen where are these students going and getting placed, what kind of placement is there, what you'll do a research about it, right? Similarly, do research on that company. People are joining this company from where, what are the other talent companies? For example, in Coinbase, maximum of our talent pool is from Microsoft, Amazon, Flipkart, and a little market from other companies. So this is what and if I again drill down, my talent pool is where do they graduate ideally? Ideally IITs, NITs, triple ITs, or the top B schools. So the market is again subdivided, the slicing, dicing, and slicing of the data. So this gives me an insight. Okay, the typical culture, the typical mindset of this company is like this. Whereas another company would focus completely into another thing. Try to understand the product or the business nature of the company. You told that you have researched on the startups. You could also do a research on what is the startup all about. So, for example, Flipkart, 10 years down behind, if you see, that was also a startup at that point of time, 10 to 15 years back. Yeah, at that point of time, if we can do a research now, if we see Flipkart at a point of time, the kind of integrations that it has. But if we rewind back, what is the domain of the company? What are the other competitors of this company? Yeah, immediately we'll get Amazon as a name. There are many other competitors. Now, LinkedIn, YouTube are such a tools that more we explore these tools, more knowledge we have. More than anything, LinkedIn, thankfully, when I was a fresher, LinkedIn was, I don't know what was LinkedIn when I was a fresher. And until 2012, I didn't really get to have a hang of LinkedIn. And it's such a ocean that more and more you explore, more and more you get to see people. Open platform for their profiles, man. You can read through. Even recently we had somebody from IIT Mumbai as the CEO of Twitter. I forgot his name, but recently, and we have some IIT Mumbai person as a CEO of Twitter. So the moment you read through profile, I mean, I was curious to know what did he do there, how many years did he spend to become a CEO of a company there. This is a research that helps us know more about a person, learn for ourselves. Again, it's an information. Knowledge is divine, knowledge is power. I hope I gave too much, but I'm not sure. Did
Yes,
I
ma'am.
answer?
Definitely, you definitely now gave me a direction that what I can make out from that particular data, which
Yeah.
is not vague and vast, but it has some meaning to it.
It has a meaning to it. That's for yourself. But again, it's always wise to ask your people, your reporting person, in a polite way, in a polite way, like, hey, I mean, can I know why am I doing this? Or what is the use of the data that I'm filling? That you can ask, right? They will say, hey, Poonam, this data is going for a review for this purpose. This data is going to be used for this. We are having a huge problem like this, so we are trying to collect this data, and based on the data interpretations we are going to make such decisions. Build that rapport with your peers, with your colleagues, and anybody. They'll give you information. Now with that insight, if you read your data, that will be, you'll enjoy doing that. You'll start enjoying the, oh my god, I got one more data field. No, let me see this, let me do a research on this. Okay, try to understand why are you doing that work, what are the impact or the implications of the work that you're doing. That gives you interest, motivation, and also that's when, I mean, there was a joke, right? Somebody was just somebody, I mean, no job is waste, they say. Somebody, I read through this joke or a story, a person was just given a task to give printouts for a very long time. Eventually, he understood the complete financial statements of the company. So, because he was just standing and giving printouts, he was getting bored. Eventually, he started reading those printouts. He got to understand a lot of things about the company, and he became an expert there. So, data is very important, man. That's it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And like you said that I should, ask him what am I learning from this. So my mentor did tell me that, once you,
Instead of learning, try to ask, why is
yes,
this
ma'am.
data being used? Yeah,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
try to avoid using the word I in any communication. It's
Okay,
very
ma'am.
dangerous.
Okay,
It,
ma'am. Noted.
unless and until, I mean, at least during the interviews, try to avoid this word I. Try to replace the word with we did this always. I mean, they say, right, if there is a success, give it to the team. I mean, Abdul Kalam ji told, right, if there is a success, give it to the team.
Yes.
And that's really true, even in our interviews, that I mean, when we have many candidates, I did this, like, what is this attitude? He's not a team player. Please, if I get a better profile than him, he will be obviously sidelined. Even in a team, when you're working, I did this. No, certainly very, if the leadership members of your team are a very people oriented people, they don't like people who use this word IL. It's like, no, this sir, ma'ams, ice, no, call by names. Everybody is equal, and the company, I mean, the industry is becoming equal opportunity industry. No biases anywhere, all of us are treated equally. No bias to the race, religion, blah blah blah, they are all gone. It's just your potential, what you get from me. And it's end of the day business. Nobody is doing anything charity. How much revenue you're getting to me, or how much are you giving me business? So, yeah, sorry. So, I words, no. Names, ma'am, sirs, no.
Thank you, Archana. That great insight coming our way. So yeah, so I asked my mentor that what are we getting from this?
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
So sorry, ma'am. So sorry. Just
Let's work from home. Common. No,
Yes, Harshit, you
don't
can.
feel we are all working from home. It's new normal. In fact, I lock myself
yes,
in
ma'am.
room, not so that my kids don't disturb me. It's
Yeah,
very common.
that's my little kitten actually, ma'am. He just came. So sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so I asked my mentor that what are we getting from this particular thing. So he said that once you make these categories, now you will understand that these HRs and these people who are into the job of talent acquisition, they will tell us that what is that particular skill set that they require from the candidates. That
Mm.
particular startup, what kind of labor market or employees kind of skill set that they need. So that was one insight that I got from them, and I'm working for Skill Connect, which is kind of an e-recruitment portal. So
Okay,
then again, they'll connect with those HRs and that particular team.
great data, man. Great domain. Yeah,
Thank you.
Yes, Harshit, you can ask your question.
nice.
Good morning, Archana.
Hi.
Yeah, actually, I want to ask something from you. Like, me and yours background is same. Like, also an engineer. I completed my engineering in 2020. So,
Wonderful.
the problem is same. Like, I know this that if whenever I will sit in any interview, they will going to ask me like, why you choose MBA, or even if MBA, then why you choose finance? Because
That's a
I
wonderful combination.
yeah, actually, I did my engineering mechanical and automation, and
Nice.
I'm doing MBA in finance. So these
Amazing.
are two different paths. So, like it sometimes whenever I thought about it, I feel like how will I answer this question to them if they
Okay.
ask me this?
Okay. Now you need not answer me right now. You make note for yourself. You know why you did MBA after. I mean, I was very transparent. I told you why I did my MBA, but certainly I had my positive points to speak up during the interviews. But for you, what I think, like, BTech and MBA in finance, you're a pure math guy. You're a pure number guy. You can think through the problems. You can think through the those financial things. But for you, you can answer this as a very, if I were you, the first answer, yeah, I can think through the numbers. Being an engineer, I have come up with solutions. I have the skill of coming up with solutions. Engineering is what? Trying to come up with solutions, right? There is a problem and you're creating a solution. Any engineer, construct, I mean, software engineers, they develop the code. Mechanical engineers, they develop the machines. I mean, engineering is just that developing something into that particular field. Now, but end of the day, an engineer comes with a mindset of problem solving. That can be anything. Now, that problem solving skills with your interest towards finance is an amazing combination. But for you, I can also suggest, just jump into LinkedIn, Just give a search. I mean, can I ask, like, how? I hope most of you are well aware how to use LinkedIn. If you don't know, then please learn it. Maybe
Uh,
you don't know.
Archana ji, we have recently conducted one guest session from
Okay,
LinkedIn employee. She was
wonderful.
from Singapore. So she guided our students how to use LinkedIn as she is an employee of a LinkedIn. So she explained, and I think a student got a good insight of the LinkedIn.
Yeah, yeah. LinkedIn and YouTube. I don't know. I learned a lot from these two tools. Now, your guest lecturer, they might have given you an inserts about LinkedIn, but it's free account. You can create your account and you can give a search like MBA finance. Just give a search and see how many people are coming. Read their profiles. Which companies are there going? Or even if they're top notch people, the directors, vice presidents, CEOs, or the entry level, read their profiles. If they have given what did they do in those roles. So, for example, if you read my profile, I wrote what I did in tech systems, what I did in HSB, what I did in Coinbase, what I'm doing in Coinbase, everything. So, do this investment, train yourself. The more you read about those people, you'll get ideas. Now, another shortcut you have, you can also jump into YouTube, give a search like that, MBA finance tutorials or something, MBA finance interview, something. These are like the best way to use social media, the best way to use the screen time, which you can also benefit out of them. There are so many answers that you can get for yourself. Now, the more you read, the more you listen to that, I'm sure 5 6 days of research into this, you will come up with a better idea. You talk to your people, you talk to your best friend or somebody or whoever it is, just have mock discussions with them. Ask them to ask you questions. Have as many as mock interviews that you can. And clearly, I mean, even for me, when I'm working on a very new job description, for example, I'll ask my manager to be a bad candidate to me. Bad candidate. Not that, yes, yes, I'm interested. No, they are not here. There are so many crazy people, like they'll, they'll literally eat our day asking as many questions as. So let your best friend be your bad candidate or bad manager, bad interviewer, whoever it is. Just, I mean, once they ask, you need not answer. But if you're fumbling there, that means you're not confident. You relook into that. Yeah, I couldn't give this answer properly. Now let me get it. Attend as many as interviews as you can, so that that will give you confidence before you hit your dream job. Now, for example, now once you're starting interviews and you get your dream company as the very first interview, chances are there that you'll click, but 90% chances are there that you may not click that job. And again, it will be like, oh my, I lost my dream company. So the more you prepare, the more mock interviews you have, you'll be able to answer those questions. So come up with stories in the sense, come up with your situations, your real time examples. So that's it, I can suggest. LinkedIn. I mean, first is you think for yourself, come up with your own. Why did you do? That's the negative side or positive side, whatever it is. Now, how to present that in a positive situation? You have your plan, read those LinkedIn profiles, come up with something. Okay, what did they do and how do you find a correlation? Third example, you can also look into the YouTubes and listen to those audios, or they will give some information. Put all these together, you come up with your story. Now, attend a mock interview. Mock interview doesn't mean so formal. Just ask your friend, hey, bhai, tu mera interview le le. बैठ जाएगा okay. Your friend can be your best friend, can be your best critic as well. नहीं रे ऐसा बोलेगा तो कौन लेगा तेरा interview? No. Be, talk to your friends, be very clear, no egos, nothing. Just be transparent to yourself. That's it. I hope I answered your question. I told you what I know.
Thank you, Archana. Yeah, yeah, of course, you answered me. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Any more questions?
Good afternoon, Archana.
Hi.
Sorry. Uh, Ma'am, actually, it's just ma'am. We used to
That's
have
okay.
that habit.
We
Sorry.
will get used to it. No issues.
Uh,
That's okay. It's just a tip.
I
That
just want to ask that as we all have that family terms, like if you are switching your career from one domain to another domain,
mm,
it's a backhand from your family that why you're doing this, don't go, don't switch for your
mm.
code to your management stream. So how you have managed it, like how you have convinced your parents, like yes,
Domain means what? Can you give me an example? What
sorry.
exactly? Can you come help me with an example?
Means
Domain
like
means
if
what exactly?
like I was I am a double graduated person. I did my BCom, then I did my B.Ed. I
Mm,
want to pursue in my education field itself, but due to this hit and COVID and everything, I would not able to make it. Then
mm,
basically I am from commerce background itself, so I go in my domain itself again,
mm,
flipping to. But when I was switching it, I was like being told by my parents that yes, you can wait for some time and you can see if you get some opportunity in the specific second domain, basically education sector, if you got any of the opportunity. But that field is right now, it's they are not getting me so conscious things now, like because teachers are working from home on no pay, zero
mm.
pay.
Yeah.
So like that, I cannot start in this
Okay.
exactly. So when I was switching it, I was told by my parents that you can wait, but waiting doesn't stop me landing up somewhere. So
Right.
how you have managed from engineering background to
Oh my
this?
God. Okay. Hey, that's a different game. So engineering to MBA, it's career wise, it's a ladder. I climbed a step again. It was graduation and MBA was post graduation. And then I entered into a job market. But you mentioned that you have done BCom and BEd and now MBA, right? Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
Sorry,
you've
yes, sir.
that's okay. That's okay. That's when you get into job. Practice for yourself. So, why don't you think like that? What a kind of powerful combination you are as a person. Now, having a BEd gives you an opportunity to explore opportunities into the education domain, and having BCom gives you an opportunity. It's a merge of two different skills, BEd and BCom. And with masters, you're such a good combination, very unique to yourself. You have confidence, I mean you have proven degree with you and a proven skills in commerce and education domain and masters with fantastic communication skills. You're a great combination, Diksha. Now coming to you convincing your parents. Now yeah, parents will have their own set of fears, but you tell them that, man, mama papa, like I'm a combination now. Very few people come up with this skill. You're very unique. Now try to do a research. I mean, again, I'll square back to my LinkedIn. I don't know why I'm talking so much about LinkedIn. Now, not even LinkedIn, anywhere in the market, like try to understand education and I mean, BEd and commerce, the combinations with masters, you're very unique. So try to explore many more opportunities. There is nothing wrong in studying. There are so many people. I mean, if you can take an example of Madhavan, South Indian hero, R. Madhavan. I
Yes,
mean,
ma'am.
if you look into his profile, he has done engineering and some multiple masters. He was also into Navy. He is also into acting. Now, had he been thinking that why I did engineering and why am I doing this, that's a and people respect him. I mean, he comes with so much of respect towards this because he comes with so many multi-talented, multi-faced personality. Don't you? So Diksha, I mean, you are a great combination, man. Definitely, if I get to see any opportunity, I'll certainly circle back to you. But Diksha, get back to your parents. Tell that you are a great combination and you're very unique. Yeah.
Thank you so
And
much, Archana.
also look into the market, look into those examples where the skills of this combination are really needed, which is very niche, right? Be confident, and of course, get back to your parents, request them, tell them, be very polite, be very soft to your parents, don't give me aggressive. Yes, it's all. I'm a mother of two, right? If my child gets back to me with a different note, I feel like, so please be very lovely and gentle to your parents. Don't be aggressive with them. Of course, their fears are true. They parents are they love us to the heart, right? Unconditional love.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Archana. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Archana ji, I have one question which will
Please.
help me because all our students are asking us regularly on means, not these students but their seniors, because they are just means these candidates have not faced the final interview rounds from our side.
Hmm.
So as you went through Coinbase for 2.5 month journey to get this job, and
Right.
you told us that there were 8 rounds,
Yes.
right? So because when we float the JD and sometime process takes some time, three round, 4 round, it may sometime take 3 months to complete the process, because
Right.
depend on the mob applying for the job, the company have recruitment, sometimes they have some process, or sometimes it get halted because of some unavoidable issues in company.
Right.
So because if some candidate are attending 1 or 2 interviews, he get aggressive. Sir,
Right.
मेरा क्या हुआ? Means what sir? What's next, sir? Sir, have you got my final appointment order? So in that time we are saying that be patient, because we cannot continuously ask HR what is the status, what is the status. If in on Monday if we are asking, and if HR is saying that okay, I will update you in this week, so in next week we can take the update from HR. But every time we cannot message or call HR, yes, what is the update?
Much.
So yes, tell our student how 8 rounds are important in the recruitment, and why it take 2.5 months in Coinbase to
Yeah.
complete these rounds. Yes,
Yeah.
over to you.
Yes, yes, thank you. And I know it's very difficult from a candidate perspective or from a student perspective. That tension that we go through, I have gone through, right? These 2, 3, 2.5 months. I have been attending multiple interviews. I mean, I wasn't on a break. I just resigned in Spiceworks. I wanted to take a break for myself, but parallelly, I also wanted to ensure that I have another job for me so that I'm
Right.
earning more money. But it was I truly understand the pressure that a student or an applicant goes through. It's the nervousness, it's the desire for the job, it's the tension like, will I get it? What if I don't get? That presses us for asking you so many feedbacks. I mean, but from a company perspective, I'll tell you, I know both sides of the coin, the pressure, the tension, the psychological fear, etc., from an applicant perspective. From a company perspective, what it happens is every company has their own style of screening and interviewing and offer process. The bigger the company, the bigger the process. In my journey, I told you, right, I mean, tech systems, HSBC, then the company before Coinbase was Spiceworks. I got introduced to Neeraj sir when I was working with Spiceworks itself. When I joined Spiceworks, I was the first employee of the company. That company was coming from US and it was establishing its development center in India. I was the first employee. I was with the company from 0 to 150 of headcount, and I then moved to Coinbase. So there again in Spiceworks, the culture is very different, thought process is very different, the way we look at people is very different. Coinbase, it's very different. So for example, I'll tell you in Coinbase, I told you how many rounds I had. I told you what were they trying to know in each round. One round on job description understanding, one round on data management, one round on crisis management. Or there is something like tomorrow candidate is supposed to join, tonight I get to see a message that the candidate is not joining. That's the favorite nightmare every recruiter has. Tomorrow a person is supposed to join, tonight I'll get a message that I'm sorry due to some unavoid, and that language will be so fancy, I was so inclined. I'm very thankful for giving this time and opportunity. I've given a great thought. I cannot join. That is the best message I get on Sunday evenings. Anyways, so one round to understand how you come up with your crisis. How many plans do you have to handle those crises? That's very common. And then the data management, stakeholder management, the finances, finance management, and etc. etc. Similarly, so try to understand now when, sir, when the students are attending the interviews, you can transfer. I mean, upfront, you can ask the company like, what are the timelines? How many rounds are we having? If we have an idea, can you please help us? The reason for those many rounds in the very first screening or the first conversation that you would be having, the reason for the, so if you know the reason, you can communicate back to the students on, they will also be prepared. Okay, for the first round, this. Even for the software engineers that in Coinbase that we interviewed, we have almost 6 rounds for a entry level software engineer, 6 coding rounds. After that, another debrief round we call, where a set of team, directors team, will read all their code, typically all their answer sheets or what the code they wrote. And these code, they will try to understand if the guy has uh, the coding quality, the coding standards, the style, the approach. If they like, only then they will offer the candidate. It's not that I cleared 6 rounds months, I am offered. No. After that, again, they will read the code and their behavioral attributes during the interview, what kind of questions did they ask, and the recruiter insights, all put together, and offer goes. Most of the FANG companies follow this process. It is to test the patients, not to test the patients, man. Every round has its reason. No, so behavioral aspect, the values, culture, and the coding standards for a software guy. So, sir, you can also get back to the company and ask them typically what are the timelines. If are there any challenges, are these positions really approved? Sometimes it so happens that hiring may just start off to see that eventually we'll get approvals in between, so that the candidates are ready by then. Once we get approvals, we'll roll out the offers. At times such things would also happen, so you can also check back to the companies that are these positions approved, what are the timelines, how many rounds, etc., so that
Means
you are
this
clear.
company tell us all the things that these are the rounds. Means in job description only they means
Job
completely different
descriptions
most
are
of the
mostly just for paper. I mean, the real job descriptions is when we talk. Most
yes,
of the time,
sometimes it happened, but yes,
yeah.
most of the times companies are telling means everything they describe in job description, first round, second, third, fourth. But
Okay.
sometimes because of, I mean, that may be because of the unavoidable circumstances at their end, process get delayed. Means
Hmm.
I'm not saying that anyone is responsible for that, because everyone is trying to give their best to onboard the candidate. So thank you for sharing this this valuable input for our student. Yes, Diksha, we will take this last question. Yes, Diksha, you can ask this question.
Ma'am, as you, Archana, as you have mentioned about that we need to find out which position and which field we are working in, and we should ready for learning. So, is it like if we are in specific domain, so we should? I know we should have a knowledge of another domains also, but still, if I am in finance background, so
Hmm.
do I have to go for my internship in some another background for
Another
enhancing my?
background means something that is related to your finance will add value to your career growth, right? Now, being in finance major, your major is finance. What's the minor that you're into?
Ma'am, right now we have entrepreneurship and this finance. Yes, ma'am.
Entrepreneurship is a vast statement. It's a combination of so many things, man.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Basically, we have this specific subject which all the students of every domain like HR, finance, marketing have to study is
But secondly,
entrepreneurship.
if you have the bandwidth, now one thing, if you have the bandwidth, if you have the time and that spirit to run and learn, because every internship or every thing will give you, fetch you and learning. So the Airtel example that I told was very much into sales and marketing. It had nothing to do with HR, it had nothing to do with systems, but that gave me an opportunity, that gave me an understanding, or that helped me come out of my fears, that helped me to talk to a stranger, stop him, talk to him, get my work done. Now, is it helpful for me? This way, I was able to make my networking with the Airtel head. Any point of time, I'm still in touch with that person. So, this Airtel example that I took had nothing to do with my career, had nothing to do with my subjects, my domain. But as a person, to my confidence, to my networking, that added value. Now, did this answer your question? And
But
now,
it
again, we have to circle back to your bandwidth. Do you have the mandate? Do you have that? How many are you doing? If you do your time management planning, do you have the time? If you have slightest of slight time, then explore. That will give you, at least that will help you network. Another thing I wanted to, I was thinking to tell you, like, always networking is very important. Even within yourself, in your class. I mean, I'm still in my MBA batch that I have passed out now. All my friends, they're all in very different domains. They're all in their vice presidents, etc., etc., those ranges of their fields: marketing, finance, sales, HR, even in HR, different fields. So at any point of time, we're all together, my batch, my class. At any point of time, I mean, one of my friends is working for Nissan Motors. He's in, so it's not only for your career on it. At any point of time, hey, I'm planning to buy a car, man. You tell me what is that? He has the data. Archana, you're buying. What is your budget? What is that you are looking for a car? I want a car just for long rides. So I have my data ready. He's there to help me out with the best plan I have. Similarly, another friend of mine, he's the sales head for Metro, the hypermarket. So this guy, it's all networking, and that gives you confidence. And the best part of MBA is we are the support function: HR, finance, marketing, sales. Truly, these fields are needed in our day-to-day lives. So please always maintain your network, create groups, always be in touch with your alumni. Always that networking, you never know, it's very helpful, very powerful. So
But
yeah.
Archana, don't you think when you're going to interview someone and you see in his or her resume
Hmm.
that the person have done internship in some another field and a basic a core domain is something else, so that create little bit a question
So
mark.
again, circle back to your question. Now you did an internship. Now, being a finance person, it makes sense to do your internship in finance, not in other things. Now, doing other domain internships is just for your personal growth. It makes that common sense. Like, I cannot expect you to have a finance as masters and internship something that doesn't add value. Why? My intention for the answer is for you to learn and grow individually. You need not put everything on your resume. Then everybody's resumes will become big, big, big books. So it is for your own personal development, for your own personal growth, for your own personal networking, etc., etc. You can do it. Now, what you put on your resume is, you have to tailor make your resume every time, right? So it's up to your thought whether you put everything on your resume. But I don't stop you. I mean, I don't suggest to stop you from a wonderful opportunity if you get to learn. Did I answer?
Yeah, thank you so much,
Don't
Archana.
think
Thanks.
you're convinced. Just the
Yes,
point.
no, yes, I am. Yes, I am. But I'm ready to learn. Let's see.
But everything will give you a learning opportunity. If the
Yeah,
college provides, or if you get to come across any opportunity, learn. That gives you, at least as a person, you learn.
yeah. Thank you so much, Archana.
You know?
Does anyone have any short question they can ask because we have 2-3 minutes of time again?
Um, that's it.
Okay, ma'am. Anyways, you have means already completed all the things which are required for the students' understanding about HR and the expectations of HR. So really, I appreciate the efforts you took to
Thank you.
explain your story. And first of all, thank you for accepting our invitation on short notice. Because last time, because of some problem, we are not able to conduct that. But this time, you said yes, I would like to conduct this. And thank you for your keen interest showing in discussing with our students. And as you said that understand your product first and then go for it. And example of a person taking printouts, so it gives a example that no work is of a low quality work. It depends how you take it forward, how you understand from the things, and how you take it in a positive way to add the values in your career, and read the profile of a successful people through LinkedIn, which will help our students to make their profile strong, as well as to whom they can follow, they will get it instantly. So thank you for these insights. Now, yes, Poonam, over to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable experience and your journey. I'm sure it is going to help us in avoiding some of the pitfalls that possibly lie ahead. And also, ma'am, old habits die hard. So, thank you for bringing that new aspect of this corporate world that everyone is equal. No, ma'am, no, sir. Just address them with their first name. So, we'll try to incorporate that in our day to day.
Not able to pronounce their name properly, that's okay. You can ask them, how can I pronounce your name? Because
Yes,
so many, I get to see so many profiles, so many strange names I couldn't pronounce. I'll first call them, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not able to read your name properly. Can you please help me know how should I pronounce your name? They'll be more than happy, because many a people will feel offended if I call you like Kaku, some other name like we typically get in the customer care calls, right? No, my name is this. It's our name, our identity. So that's no harm in asking, I don't know how to pronounce. Please help me know. That's it.
right, ma'am. Noted. We are going to follow this from here. So thank you so much, ma'am, for bringing that new aspect, and we would like to meet you again when once we go offline. We would like to hear from you again.
LinkedIn is there. You can drop a message. If there is a delay in my response, but I'll certainly respond, because I get so many response messages from the candidates as well. But certainly, I'll love to answer the queries. And I'm really thankful to Neeraj for giving this opportunity.
Yes.
I enjoyed talking to you. I hope I did not bore you.
No, ma'am, not at all.
Not at all.
And yeah, thank you. Typical
Yes.
college days, I was nervous, like, "Oh, क्या भाषण देगी ये आके?" Nice.
Yes.
I
Thank you, Archana ji. Thank you very much. Thank you for
bye.
discussing with our student. You can log out. Yes, dear students, you have some.
All the best.
Yes.
Stay in connect. Networking is very important. Take
Thank you,
care.
Archana.
Yes.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, dear students. One announcement. Next guest lecture is postponed. I don't know whether ma'am will take the session after 5:30, because yesterday night only she messaged me. Then I replied to her, is it possible to come for 1 hour at least? So she said, I will tell you in second hour, but till now I haven't received any reply from ma'am. So as of now, we can consider that this session is postponed for 5:30. Okay. Then fourth session is as it is. Fourth session किसका है? बाजीराव जी सर का ना?
Bajirao Sir.
बाजीराव सर का. And Diksha, have you received the profile of Bajirao sir?
Yes, sir. Actually, that
No,
file
no
was.
issues. You got it, na? You got it,
Yes,
na? No problem.
yes,
Okay, okay. So next, Diksha, you are going to introduce Bajirao sir and Praveen sir, right?
yes, sir.
Apart from this, any question?
No, sir. Thank
Okay,
you.
so as of now, third session is postponed. I will announce you in any of the session when we will when we will conduct it. Okay, so as of now, the two sessions are over. Third session postponed. Fourth and fifth as it is. Okay,
Thank you so much, sir.
okay, okay. Bye.
Thank you, sir.